All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to proceed further with the large scale, the full hoverboard model, this one here, as well as some of the notching on this one. So actually, let's get some smoothing done on this one before we do anything. I just want to get the wax there level. Might even have to take down some of the core holder. You can see already. Take some of that down. Now this right here, to be honest, is already a version of the hoverboard that I'm thinking about making full scale, even without the next steps. Just because of how dynamic that wax core is when it gets into use. Let's see if I have any testing implements here. Actually, I could test it. I'd test a board on a board. You can just see that. It wants to go over. Then you can look at the marks that it makes, leaving that wax residue. But I mean, it's the wax is acting perfectly as a propellant, to be quite honest. Fifth dimensional. And, it makes me think, even right now, because, what is fifth dimensional? It's a good way to explain what fifth dimensional is, which is energy through matter flow or mass flow. Well, I mean, energy is mass flow, which is the fifth dimension. And why that's a little tricky is because it's very hard to get mass to flow. Because what are you going to use to get mass to flow? Mass? If you use mass to get mass to flow, then we're violating the conservation of energy, kind of, right? Or, I mean, really. But where do we get the initial energy to jumpstart the system is the question. And there's plenty of answers. And they're all natural because they have to be. But anyway, and so what mass you really get to flow really determines your energy output. And not exchange. You can get mass to exchange, but not flow. Let's go ahead and get on the electron configuration of the ring while we do this test. This one, it's so fascinating, but we're going to proceed with the next level of the test there. But before we do that, let's prep this guy for his wax. I'm going to put this is an idea that I came up with to hold the wax in there while we're pouring. Gravity also fifth dimension. What is it doing? Getting mass to flow. Now, what is gravity using to get mass to flow? Gravity is using mass to get mass to flow. But it's a very interesting principle of mass. in that mass has the ability to bend time or bend space-time, which is kind of crazy. So some wax pieces here. Let's see if this is enough wax. It's kind of crazy, especially if you really think, you know, that our world is three-dimensional. When clearly, we got some a little bit extra going on here. Or 3 dimensions only. Because definitely it is 3-dimensional, but it's also, in my hypothesis anyway, 4th dimensional and 5th dimensional. And infinite dimensional. Alright, let's get some wax poured into there. Alright, it's flowing, it's flowing. Let it cool a little bit. You can see the wax in there. So that force, gravity, the force of mass flow, the force that demonstrates the natural flow of mass, you could also say. Because that's where we do some of our best science, in understanding how the universe is set up. So that we don't have to try to invent necessarily what we're looking for. We can just go find it. I think this is going to be more than enough wax. So that's perfect. I thought I might need some more. I want to let that bottom one dry a little bit. You can see it's staying quite flowy. Let's get some to flow over there. Thinking I didn't fully evacuate that side of the core holder. Even though I wouldn't really call them core holders, but they hold the wax core. This is kind of exciting because this is the first. I'm not sure. Am I burning the wax? Why am I getting black wax? Oh, I'm burning it at the bottom. Okay. Let's keep pouring. Let's just keep pouring. Anyway, so and then the same way, you know, with the hoverboard, we can try to invent hover, but it's important that we understand what the universe naturally uses hover for, and then we can just go whoop, meet the hover where it's at. Might need to let that cool and then increase the levels on the mold, because it looks like we're reaching the top of the mold. I'm going to try to put a little bit more in, see if it dribbles off, or see if we can get it to stay in there. Staying. All right. Things I'll do for science. All right, so let's allow that one to sit just for a moment. Put this down over here. By the way, you might see the Time Machine Studio here. No, Time Machine Store Clear Series. Time Machine Studio. And what you're seeing back here is the first ever Time Machine Clear Series station. I knew how I was going to build it, but I hadn't built one yet, but I needed to improve my area, so I built a station, the acrylic station finally, and man, it's awesome already. So let's get into maybe ruining this guy. And part of what we're going to learn right now is how easy this is to cut with, although I think part of the thing is I need to put a new blade in. Do I have some new blades down here? No, I think I used them all up. Okay. Not bad at all. The only thing we have to worry about seems to be the wax cracking. Oh, gotta be a little bit more gentle there. So I might have to do this twice because I'm currently going off of the idea that I'm thinking of. So these grooves, or call them steps, truthfully, hover steps. Everything's hover on the hoverboard. Are there to allow for notches for the 7D core array balls, those little balls. Ooh, okay, that was a big error. Big error. Put them too close together. But we're working in a time machine here, so all data is preserved. Actually, it's not too bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. The hover steps. Mimicking very much so the electron shell method of quantized energy steps. I have not had time to share with you guys my latest theory on electrons. It's funny, I'm wearing the Electron series time machine ring, or electron configuration. So we did shatter some of the wax on that last step. Just going to take it off. See if I can get that bottom groove out. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's not too bad. Just went to the bottom of the board, which actually makes sense. It should be testable, especially for a model. Let's go ahead and get these front ones in and see what we're talking about after that. Let's see what we're talking about after that. Ooh, gotta be gentle. Got to be gentle. Got to be nice. Okay, let's see if we can get that groove out. Come on. You're a little stubborn on this part for some reason. Maybe I put some super glue on them or something. Alright, let's get another groove in there. I'm just gonna two groove it, because I don't want to do what I did last time and break too much of the wax core out. Alright, next step will be to test it with the 7D core array. But first, I'm even going to test it without the 7D core array. Let's see what kind of findings we get. Let's clear some of our area here. And we need a good obstacle. This partially filled. Oh, look at that. How that's looking great. We just need to fill it up to the top. Let me walk that mold off a little bit higher. Because it looks like it was wanting to run out. I'll come back to that in just a second. He's going to run double duty as our test obstacle. Interesting. So I'm getting that catch. Yeah, I'm definitely catching. I'm catching on those grooves. See that? Locks, 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 locks. I'm thinking that's what we want. I'm thinking that's what we want. And that when we add the 7D core array, we'll be doing something truly amazing here. But let's go ahead and top off our full hoverboard. So this one over here that we're doing is not going to have any skateboard wheels on it. So I'm testing the true limits of the 7D core array, if they're able to provide lift by themselves with no wheels. Dribbling some wax. That's why you also have to have patience when it comes to science. So I was going to tell you my new hypothesis regarding electrons. I believe that electrons might be made up of up to 500, well, maybe even higher, somewhere in that ballpark. Oh no. Oh no. Smaller particles, which I'm tentatively calling electrines. And they are the actual one-dimensional units, while electrons are quantum. Electrons are a group of these centrons as they interact with the third and sixth dimensions. I don't know why this thing got turned up so high. We'll polish this off and we will be good for now. Okay, we're still getting leakage. So my mold no holding. Okay. It's almost there. It's almost there. Did I use up all that wax? Might need to get some more wax. It'd really be easier if I just had like soft wax that I could then mold. I'm sure that exists. Somehow it's dribbling. That looks like it's pretty close to the level. Even though we have a big chunk in there, he needs to come out. Alright. We're pretty close to the level. But pretty close isn't good enough. This one's melting, so let me just push it along. That's getting there. That is absolutely getting there. Definitely never done a wax core this big before, so I appreciate y'all bearing with me. Try to get a little bit of this wax. It's a different color, but hopefully they'll play nice together. Just need a little bit more wax. It's looking good. Oh yeah, that was the last little drop that I needed. You can see how it's flowing right there. Oh, that's perfect. I'm gonna add a little bit more just to be sure, because I really thought I was gonna quit before I finish this, because it's kind of annoying. But you gotta do it for science. The little molds are working perfectly. Let's just pour that right on there. Perfect. That's what I want to see. I wanted to see it over the top. That's perfect. That's perfect. Because we'll trim the whole thing down. Perfect. All right, well, Hoverhead's out. This was a great one. Love you guys.